Sidney Poitier was like, hey, tell me, man, why us? Why not you, brother? Alright, y'all, got a special one today. So this movie that I'm going to be talking about, I could not do this without giving it that Blacktastic treatment. So I got my man Blacktastic Media on here to help me talk about one of the all-time comedy classics, Uptown Saturday Night. So the plan is to review all three of these movies, so it is a trilogy, even though all the actors played different characters in each movie, but I consider it a trilogy. So we got Uptown Saturday Night, Let's Do It Again, and a piece of the action. So my first time watching this actually was after Let's Do It Again. So I watched Let's Do It Again first, then I watched Uptown Saturday Night. And this is a perfect example of if you don't like what you see, do it yourself and make it better how you want to see it done. So this is during the blaxploitation era where you had Superfly, Shaft, you had all these movies glorifying pimps and prostitutes and drug dealing and gangsters and taking it to the man. You know, yes, right, take it to the man. Yeah, the white man this and the white man that. You know, and Sidney Poitier was like, no, I don't like what I'm seeing here. You know, I got to change the narrative. So he took it upon himself to go to Warner Brothers because, you know, he's a big name in Hollywood, like the only black big name at the time. And he says, give me a couple of $1 million and I'll put out a black product that black people will see and show us full of pride and integrity and dignity. And that's what he did. He teamed up with Bill Cosby and he put out Uptown Saturday Night, which contained almost no cursing. There was no taking it to the man. There was no prostitution. There was none of this stuff that you saw in the blaxploitation movies, even though it did have to do with gangsters, but in a humorous way, you know, not in an exploitive way, okay? So the point of this movie is that Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby, they're two blue-collar gentlemen, you know, that they work regular jobs, they have wives, they live regular lives, you know, something that you didn't see a lot in black films, and they decide one Saturday night to go to Madame Zenobia's and just, you know, have a good time, you know, just go gamble a little bit, have a little drink, have a little good time, you know, flirt a little bit. And they get stuck out by these gangsters and they rob everybody for their jewels, their monies, and took Sidney Poitier's wallet, which contained a lottery ticket worth $50,000. So that's where the whole Easter egg hunt begins. Him and Cosby team up and they go through some crazy ass zany adventures trying to find that wallet with the ticket. Okay, and right off rip, my favorite scene in this movie. Now, mind you, this is a star-studded cast. So you got Sidney Poitier, Bill Cosby, Richard Pryor, Flip Wilson, Harry Belafonte is Geechee Dan Buford, Calvin Lockhart, who appears in Let's Do It Again also. So you have some star power in this movie. And off rip, my favorite scene in this movie is when they go to the bar looking for Little Seymour. The Little Seymour scene is worth the price of admission by itself. So they go to this bar, right? And they're looking for Little Seymour. And Cosby starts roughing up a few people in the bar. You know, Cosby showing that, you know, I'm a badass and I'm going to get down to the bottom of this. You know, where's Little Seymour, Jack? And Big Percy, right? So Little Seymour comes out, right? Little dude, telling I'm Little Seymour. And Cosby starts laughing like, man, are you serious right now? Then this big giant motherfucker come out and talk about, and I'm Big Percy. And Cosby immediately changes his tune. And the funny thing about these movies is that when Cosby gets caught up in a situation where he has to talk his way out of it, he comes up with the most ridiculous excuses of why he does what he does. So now he's gonna calm down and he's like, well, you see, I got this condition where, you know, I have to have these fits. You see, I have these fits and it causes me to flip out. But see, that's because of my condition, you see. And of course, they get their asses whipped. So I just had to give you my favorite scene. But, you know, it would be rude to continue this without passing the mic to my man Blacktastic. So Blacktastic, tell me, bro, what did you think about Uptown Saturday Night?
Yo, what's up? Yeah, man, it's your boy. Linking up with my boy Rashad G on his channel to do another collab. And what a classic, Uptown Saturday Night. This movie came out in 1974 and is directed by Sidney Poitier, who's also starring in the movie along with Bill Cosby, Harry Belafonte, you got Flip Wilson, you got Richard Pryor. Tons of black strong actors and stars and comedians from the 1960s and 70s. And this is during the era of blaxploitation, but these movies are kind of exempt from the blaxploitation movement because these movies had bigger budgets, great actors and comedians, and who could act and had a great script. It wasn't about vengeance, killing somebody, hoes and hookers and streetwalkers and drug dealers. No, these movies had a little bit more in-depth tale to them to bring them to the big screen. I mean, my mom and dad loved these movies. That's how I seen them as a child. They would watch them all the time, and they wasn't rated R, so I can watch them from beginning to end. Funny as shit, cool plot, great music, a lot of harmonicas in the soundtrack, and just the way they dressed, the style. I mean, Bill Cosby was in his heyday. Sidney Poitier was in his heyday. That's how Kid and Play got their start. Kind of like, we want to be like Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby when we do House Party 1 and 2 and 3. I get it. You want to make a classic trilogy being a black artist or a black actor or comedian. Man, this movie, I can't say enough about it. I never get tired of watching it. I still remember when I was a child watching it with my parents, to a young adult and to now. I know this movie damn near by heart. I love this film. Now, it suffered from some of the lack of productivity, monies, that some of the blaxploitations did. Like, even though this movie is much better than those movies, some of the same things like the ADR and the sound effects. I don't know what it is about these blaxploitation movies. They have the same sound effect when it comes to walking. Like, everybody's wearing plat heel form shoes and it's clankety clank, clankety clank. Everybody makes the same sound effect when they're walking in these movies. And it is loud as hell. And sometimes it doesn't match up with the feet pattern. It's kind of funny, but besides the point, I'm sure Rashad broke down the plot of this movie. It's classic, man. This band has a winning lottery ticket. They go to this bookie joint, illegal bookie joint, hanging out with his buddies on vacation. And while they're there, they get robbed. They stole his money, his wallet, and that lottery ticket was in his wallet. He didn't know he won until the very next day when he read the paper. Of course, he didn't tell his wife where he was going the night before, kind of snuck out while the wives were asleep to go hang out and all of a sudden get robbed. So they're trying to be like, we got to find our money. They go to a private detective. Now, when you see a private detective sign hanging on a wall made out of cardboard and it's written in ink like crayon or some kind of black ink, probably not a valuable business. And of course, it's my man, Richard Pryor, playing that character as a detective. Man, hilarious skit. And the funniest thing, they walk into his office, they're like, knock, knock. They open the door, they're walking around. Hello, Mr. Washington? Mr. Washington? And he's nowhere to be found. He just pops up. Hey, man, who you looking for, man? I was like, shit. That part gets me to this very day. It's funny as shit, and it kind of like startles you for a little bit, but yeah, he's a con man, and soon he is caught up with the police. They're like, this dude got our money. Hey, get in line. He got a lot of people's money. Richard Pryor is hilarious for the short parties in here. Flip Wilson plays Priest in this movie. I grew up listening to his records and that show, the Flip Wilson Show. He was one of the first black comedians when I was a little toddler. I remember seeing Dress Up Like a Woman. One of the first black comedians to do it way back in the day, made it famous for everybody to do it nowadays. But this movie is just straight up classic, man. Sidney Poitier is a talented actor and a talented director. He always plays the straight guy in his movies. And him and Bill Cosby together, movie magic gold on the big screen. They are fabulous together. And seeing them together again, I watched the movie again today just for a refresher for this video. And man, it all came back to me like it was just yesterday that I seen it for the first time. Love this film. And one of my favorite scenes, man, when the two criminals that are going against each other, trying to work together to find out about these diamonds. A story that Bill Cosby conjured up. They go inside the church, and this woman in the choir is singing her ass off. She has a big ass gap right here and a big old afro, but man, she can sing her ass off. And that song is so incredible. They use it again during the end credits, and she's singing, she's bobbing her head. We got over. Man, I got caught up. Love the music in this movie, man. Classic. The opening number, Uptown Saturday Night, and you got also the fonts. It's always in yellow like most blaxploitation movies. So, man, it's the golden era of good blaxploitation movies was in the 70s when my man Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby hooked up. Man, I love this joint. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and check it out. Did it age well? That's determined upon you. To me, I love the 70s, so it never gets old to me. I love this film. And you have some action, some stunts in here at the end. See, back then they didn't have green screen. Back then they had a projector screen. So there's a movie projector in the background moving, like you're driving there, like. And there's a scene where Sidney Poitier's on top of the car, hitting motherfuckers with hammers and stuff, and trying to fight them, breaking out windows. Hilarious. You watch it now, you would laugh your ass off. It's obvious in front of a projection screen, but hey, you have to do what you have to do. Hey, that was better than most of those blaxploitation movies. And you know, they had real stuntmen, they had the budget for it, they had real explosions. The movie's top notch for 1974. With that, I say, be sure to like, share, subscribe to my channel, my friend's channel, and I'm gonna hand it back over to my man because, yo, thank you for having me on. This has been a blast. I love this film. Peace. And as always, don't trip. It's just my point of view.
My man, we definitely see eye to eye on this one. Yeah, I say about 98% we agree on this movie. If I can have any gripes, because at the end of the day, I am a critic, this is what I do. The gripe that I have about this movie is the soundtrack. Now, like I said, I watched Let's Do It Again first. And Let's Do It Again was funky as shit. I'm gonna get to that in the next review. So the music here showed the age of the movie, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't take away how funny this movie is. I laughed a lot. This movie is very funny. But the music was, well, besides when they went to church, like, you know, I grew up in the church, so, you know, when they got to the gospel music, it was all good. But yeah, overall, the soundtrack of the movie in this movie was, not all that. And yes, like Blacktastic said, some of the ADR, some of the effects, you know, there's even when they have shootouts, you see in slow motion, you see the guys diving across the tables and shit in slow-mo and everything. So a lot of stuff in this movie shows his age, but still, this is a great film, a great comedy, still funny to this day. I still laugh at it. You know what I mean? Sidney Poitier came through with this one. And like I said, this is a breath of fresh air from the blaxploitation movies where it was just stereotypical stuff that a lot of black people were embarrassed about. But Sidney said, no, look, let's make a film that's funny, that doesn't have to show nudity and all that cursing and stuff. Let's make a movie where the whole family can go and enjoy it and laugh with it, and that's what this movie did. So Uptown Saturday Night gets an A, solid A in my book. Bill Cosby was hilarious. Richard Pryor was hilarious. I don't even think Richard Pryor cursed in this movie. This is probably the only time ever where Richard Pryor did not curse. And his signature word, nigga, he doesn't even say nigga. He says brother. Like when they finally caught him and, you know, Sidney Poitier was like, hey, tell me, man, why us? Why not you, brother? The villains in this movie is also funny. So Harry Belafonte plays Gucci Dan Buford, who is he's a parody of Don Corleone, the Godfather. He even has the bulldog cheeks and everything. He was hilarious in this. He didn't even recognize him. If you see a picture of Harry Belafonte, you know, he's a good looking red nigga, like myself. And but you don't recognize him in this role. He was funny. And Calvin Lockhart plays Silky Slim. He's the gangster that robs Madame Zenobia's. And, you know, I love his voice. I wish I had a voice like Calvin Lockhart, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he talks real smooth like this. He's got a gravel to his voice, but it's still real cool. You know what I mean? I can't do it like him. Yeah, he also plays a villain in the next movie, Let's Do It Again, and I'm looking forward to reviewing that one, because, yeah, he was definitely a better villain in that one than in this one. So, yeah, man, is what I got for Uptown Saturday Night. Love this movie, and we're gonna be also collabing for Let's Do It Again, which I'm really looking forward to. So, Blacktastic, thank you once again, bro, for being in this video, man, and for collabing with me once again, and I'm looking forward to Let's Do It Again. Let's do the damn thing again, brothers. So, yeah, if you like and did this content, hit the like and subscribe notification bell in the corner. Also, check out my man Blacktastic. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. So that's it and that's all. This is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video.